Brodes Media.
Man, it's just unreal. 4-0. This team doesn't lose. It's so easy to pack it in on a second half of a back-to-back when you're already starting the season off 3-0. You're in D.C. It doesn't look like it's your night. But Bona? Oh, my God. Block, 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 block. Every single night, you're getting someone to help contribute. Maybe it's Drummond working his ass off and igniting some fire. Maybe it's Grimes coming up clutch, having a huge second half, having a big balls shot late. And truth be told, I didn't know what Grimes was. And when I say that, I mean it like this. When a team is awful and dreadful, like it was last season, someone's going to score. Someone's going to put up points. Someone's going to take high volume shots. I didn't know if Grimes was just a product of it's sloppy crap every single night and he's just taking advantage of the state of the Sixers, or when you actually form a team, he has a significant role. I didn't know. I'm just being honest. He settled in nicely. And he's a very crucial part to what they can do. And look, things are going to change when you factor in Jared McCain and trying to squeeze in his role. Squeeze it in as if that's not a big deal and a big part of this thing. But you get my point. You still got to figure out the Paul George dynamic. Joel Embiid when he's not on a minute restriction. There's a lot here. But I don't want to tie my brain into a pretzel, which it easily gets into that mode, when I'm just enjoying the fact that when it's 7 o'clock and the ball's getting tipped, I know what's in store. 48 minutes of working your ass off, playing a great game, fighting, smart basketball, Maxey giving us 40. And this all really does go right back to Tyrese Maxey, because he has changed the culture. VJ Edgecombe is a huge secondary layer to that, and we'll get more into him. You know, I still, who else do I want to talk about? I mentioned Bona. Oubre has had pockets. Barlow, before the injury, has had a pocket. So it's anybody on any given day that can step up, and that describes a team. And in a way, a deep team. Doesn't matter what number's called. Someone will be there on any given day. That's a big deal. But Tyrese Maxey had this to say before the season even began about the state of the franchise, the leadership of the franchise, what it takes to be a premier team in this league. Listen to Tyrese.
I think the biggest thing that I'm trying to accomplish is, like, we need a standard. Like, this is who we are every single day, no matter who plays, no matter who doesn't play. When you see Philadelphia 76ers, this is what you see. You're going to see that team every single night. Every single time you turn the TV on, every single time you step foot in whatever arena that we're playing in, this is the team that you're going to get. And this is the type of culture you're going to get. They're going to do this thing. They're going to do a certain thing a certain way every single night. I think that's the biggest thing. And then just, like, building a camaraderie and a brotherhood off the court, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to do this summer. Justin was in Dallas a little bit, came to my house. You know what I'm saying? VJ, a couple guys are going to come to my house soon. You know what I'm saying? A couple out here. So it's just like, that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to build. If you have that friendship and that relationship off the court, I think when you get on the court, I've even started playing video games with the VJs, the Justins, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's going to help us a lot.
Dude, that's huge. And look, I'm an Embiid guy. I love Embiid, and I still lean positive with him. and his presence matters. I mean, outside of the first game, you get 20 points in 20 minutes from him in that Saturday night game against Charlotte. In Washington, D.C., he was +9 in 23 minutes with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. It's not all perfect by any means, but, you know, the way people talk about him, he's a bum, get him out of here, he stinks, I don't want his presence near anybody else. I'm not going that far. With that said, though, there is an element missing from Joel Embiid when it comes to the face of the franchise and what Tyrese Maxey laid out. Not only did he say it, but he did it in practice. He physically went out and actually did create a standard. Joel's not playing against Orlando. You think we're fucking losing even though it's the first half of a back-to-back? We're not fucking losing. We're going out there and we're going to go kick some ass and win a damn game. We're going to put up 136. He's been scoring 40 plus. You're a handful of games into the year. Kevin Garnett, of all people, is tweeting out, looks like Tyrese Maxey is going after a damn MVP. That's the way some of the all-time greats are viewing what Tyrese Maxey has done, being shot out of a cannon early. And let's be honest, we all anticipated a great Tyrese Maxey. It's not as if, with all due respect to VJ Edgecombe, we all expected a fun, explosive, athletic, hardworking VJ Edgecombe. But he has clearly jumped some of the fair and reasonable expectations. The bar for Tyrese Maxey was always amazing. It was always incredible. There's not that much more he could jump up because the guy's been a dog. But last year was ugly, man, and he was a part of it. And I think he realized real quickly, I'm not here for that bullshit. Doesn't matter who's in the lineup. Doesn't matter if Embiid's there for Orlando or if he's there for Washington. However they want to play out this back-to-back, we have a standard to set. And it kind of reminds me a little bit, too, with the brotherhood and the cohesion of Nick Sirianni and what he stresses to the Eagles locker room of loving one another. And here's where I'll give Joel Embiid credit. It's very early, but I can only judge and base it off of what we've seen so far. It does look like, to me, he's willing to accept that this is where the Philadelphia 76ers are. He's willing to take that new role. Now, whether that's because he knows where his body is, he sees what Maxey's doing, but not every big name and big high-paid contract guy and big personality will take a back seat and go, okay, whatever you want, Tyrese. Again, it's early. Things could change throughout the season, but it looks to me like he's willing to adapt based off of the circumstances. And the way he's celebrating on the bench for his guys, that's a big deal. Like, you need buy-in from those type of guys if this is going to work with the current construction of who they are. It's a weird position to be in, but they clearly passed the baton off. They did. But the big names have to be on board. I don't know about Paul George yet. Maybe he could be a good fit. He still does bring things to the table. But it goes back to, there was once a time where you had to rely on these older names to carry the workload and carry the dominance on a day-to-day basis over these 82 games. But that's not the case. Now they're pieces to the pie, not 90% of the pie. And then you just get youth, and you get, you know, the Grimes, and then maybe not the youth, but the juice from Andre Drummond who takes over a game, or Oubre has a nice effort. And they're doing it like a team. But I can't stress enough what we saw from Tyrese Maxey before the season began and how that translates perfectly to what we're witnessing. It's aligning perfect to a T. And you always hear athletes say, this is what I want to do. This is the goal. This is what I'm trying to accomplish, but it never really pans out that way. He's executing. It's early, but it seems as if when they're down or even when they're up, his speed to the basket, his ability to create some of these three-point looks just based off of his handle. I even saw VJ Edgecombe with a nice little dribble to create separation, and oh my God, loses a defender and he just cashes it in. Ew. VJ? I didn't know if he was going to have handles to that type of capability. I know that from action. If you need it, here's back-to-back threes. If you need it, hell, I got to earn charity stripe free throws. I mean, he's going to do whatever is necessary on any given day to make it happen for the squad, and that's leadership. My last thing on the Joel Embiid front, though, is this. That video that's kind of going around right now of him doing the DX suck-it move to fans that were behind the bench in Washington. There's a lot of people taking victory laps because it's cool to see the team all excited and juiced up and amped up and, you know, doing that. As an Embiid guy, there is a part of me that doesn't like that. It kind of describes maybe what he's lacking. And I love Embiid. I do. I love Embiid. But would you see Tyrese Maxey starting a suck it DX chant to fans after by the way, against the Washington Wizards in Game 4 of an NBA regular season? You know? And I do like that the care is there. I do. I like the fact that he's pumped up, he's excited, he's amped, he's juiced. That is important to me. Because a lot of these guys that have played in the league for a long-ass time, you know what it's easy to do? Just chalk it up to, this is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the end of the season anyway. Whatever. Let me just kind of go through the motions. But there was enough passion and enough excitement in the win to carry that type of energy, which I do appreciate. But as an Embiid guy and seeing the difference in leadership qualities from Maxey, I think that's where the disconnect is. And that one hurts to admit, but I'm a man of the people and I'm honest.